Can you please share something about your journey?
I was a banker for 14 years, in Bombay for 10 years, and then 4 years in Chennai.
And I could also resonate
You.
with it because I went through something when I was 18 years old. Mostly my audience, they are into emotional and mental health well-being, okay? Law of attraction and affirmations.
So, what happens is as we go through life,
Mhm.
right, we tend to look up at some people, right? And it could be in any area.
This sounds to be a completely different approach to personal growth and development which people talk about.
Values help you to move from the world of external motivation based living to intrinsic inspiration based living.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Mindful Living with Neil. I am your host, Dr.Neil Shah, a psychiatrist and mindfulness coach, author of the best-selling book Detox Your Mind, and creator of the Mindful Living with Neil podcast. And in this episode of Mindful Living with Neil, I have a very special guest with me who has had a profound impact on my life over the past 1 year. But before diving deep into the episode, I would like to ask all of you one question. How many of you feel stressed, anxious, and depressed in life? And you have tried many things. You have read a lot of self help books, watched a lot of motivational videos, and tried many personal growth and development techniques. Still, you experience dissatisfaction, unfulfillment, and emptiness in your life. Then this episode is specially designed for you. So, our guest for today on this episode is Senthil Raj. So, Senthil Raj is a personal mastery and life empowerment coach. He is the #1 international best-selling author of the book Compulsive Living to Conscious Living, which has received the bestseller award in 3 categories: mind, body, soul, spiritual growth, self-help, and business mentoring and coaching. He is India's first licensed Demartini method facilitator and Demartini values facilitator since 2018-19, only one of the 5 in Asia. He does one-to-one consultations with his clients where he helps them move from compulsive and uninspired living to conscious and inspired living so that they can live an authentic, meaningful and fulfilled life. Personally, I have been working with Senthil over the past 7 to 8 months, starting first with his signature program on personal mastery and life balance, which was held in Pune in August last year, and after that I joined his 6 months Inspired Life Mastery program, which helped me to find my life purpose and soul's mission on this planet and design my life in 12 areas according to my highest values and life purpose. Senthil also conducts weekly personal mastery masterminds with his clients where he shares his insights and nuggets which he has learned from world leaders such as Dr. John Demartini. So all of you, please join me in welcoming our guest for today, Senthil Raj. Hi Senthil, welcome to this podcast episode of Mindful Living with Neil. So how are you doing today?
Awesome. Thanks, Neil. Thanks for having me. Yes, it's a wonderful day
Great,
so
amazing.
far. Yeah.
Yeah. So Senthil,
Mm.
currently where are you? Like where are you logging in from?
Okay, from my hometown, Chennai.
Oh, amazing, great. So,
Yeah.
Senthil, I have a bunch of amazing questions lined up for you, and I'm sure
Awesome.
that our audience will be blown away by it. So, let's get started with this podcast. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. So, Senthil, my first question to you would be, can you please share something about your journey, like how you got interested in personal growth and development, and how you became a DeMartini facilitator? Can you share something about that?
Sure. So, I was a banker for 14 years, in Bombay for 10 years, and then 4 years in Chennai, and then I got into this journey.
Mm-hmm.
So, about 10 years back, which was the last year in my banking. In fact, 4 years before I quit, 2013,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was in corporate banking. I was in Mumbai, and I was about to present a $100 million corporate proposal, external commercial borrowing kind of a proposal to the directors of the bank I was working with. Yeah. and I almost collapsed.
Oh.
I was in peak stress. The
Mhm.
previous 3 weeks to 4 weeks, inadequate sleep, working till 1 o'clock in the night, and just going home for just a couple of hours, again back at 5 o'clock. And it was a period where you had a lot of, corporates were going bust, and a lot of NPAs were, you know,
Mhm.
so that was the time. So massive stress, and I almost collapsed and went out of the bank, saw
Mhm.
a doc,
Okay.
and I was told to kind of, uh, take some rest, you know, and then not to go back. And then I rested for a day, and it was kind of a palpitations kind of a thing, heartbeat racing, and then I was told to take off from work and take some rest. Then I flew to Chennai. I stayed there for a while, and this holiday actually ran for 3 months. Yeah. So initially, while I was very hesitant to take even 1 or 2 days off, but later on, I realized that, I need to figure out what's happening with my life. Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Mhm.
One clear answer came was no, this is not I want to do for the rest of my life. Then the next question is, then what exactly do you want to do? Yeah. So while I was pondering on this question, I met my spiritual teacher, Mahatria,
Mhm.
right? And the journey with him gave me the courage to take a plunge into something which is more meaningful. Yeah. So at that point in time, my stress was peak, right? I was throwing tantrums at family members. My wife was not happy with me, children not happy, parents not happy. I was not happy. And in the work also, it showed up. Yeah. So I was in peak stress. The first thing, uh, what I learned from Mahatria is he said, you cannot get the world outside right.
Mhm.
All you can get right is yourself.
Yeah.
And when you get yourself right, the world outside shifts.
Yes.
Yeah. So my first journey was to calm down the agitations of my mind, calm down the stress, and get more centered. So the journey with him started in 2013. Uh, uh, I think end of the year, Jan 1st of 2014. I attended his live program in Madras University, right? And I picked up all his DVDs and devoured it. And a combination of meditation and deep breathing and my learning in the spiritual, my journey helped me to bring down the stress,
Wow.
right? So the first transformation was from a angry, irritated, emotionally volatile person to a more calm, balanced person filled with gratitude and love kind of a thing. So the first thing to benefit was my family. They were happy, right? And people in my team also were able to see the shift in me. And the next question was, well, this is great, but I was still not fulfilled. So my question to my spiritual teacher was, I'm still not fulfilled. So what's happening? So for that, he said, you need to find out your swadharma, your dharma towards yourself,
Mhm.
or life purpose, like what you said in the beginning, right? What's your life purpose? And and he said, convert that into a monetizable proposition, and that's your business. And that's where you will be able to blossom in your life and have inspiration, meaning, wellness, fulfillment, and everything. So I set my journey to find out what's my life purpose. 4 years of inner search through spiritual retreats and attending all the various programs like Success Gyan programs, one of the highest paying customers to them, attended all the programs all the way till making the stage in
Yeah.
Singapore and all. A combination of internal search through spiritual retreat and external search through attending this seminars from the best in the world, be it Jack Canfield, Blair Singer, Harvey Tony Robbins, and everything. And I think in 2017, mid middle of the year, is when I found my life purpose, which is to help people move from compulsive living, which is a pressured, stressful, unhappy, you know, distressed living, to a more balanced, inspired, right, meaningful living with wellness and fulfillment. So I started off with writing a book, Compulsive Living to Conscious Living. Brian Tracy was my book writing coach. Then I got it done by end of the year 2017. And 2018 beginning, it became a bestseller in three categories: mind, body, soul, spiritual growth, self-help, and business mentoring and coaching, right? And then I started my coaching
Mhm.
with my clients. Now, what I realized is I took 4 years to find my life purpose. People might not have that much patience,
Yeah.
right? So I realized I need some tools to help people find a purpose. I also need some tools to help people dissolve their emotional charges and mental blocks, which I got resolved through my spiritual journey.
Mhm.
So while I was in search for these tools, the man showed up, Dr. John Demartini. Yeah.
Oh.
In Chennai Trade Center, I was attending National Achievers Congress, I guess. He
Mhm.
was the last speaker. And he said he helps people to move from immanent mind to transcendent mind.
Mhm.
And that's my topic. I help people move from compulsive living when you are in your amygdala to conscious living when you are living from your prefrontal cortex, the executive center. So I said, and he said he has read 32,000 books in
Mhm.
290 disciplines. So that day I decided I'm going to learn from this guy. And he does programs only in US, South Africa, UK, and Australia, not anywhere in Asia. So I flew to South Africa, attended his breakthrough experience, and that day decided I need to do whatever it takes, certification, licensing, to learn the two things: values and quantum collapse process, or the Demartini method. Human values for finding life purpose, and quantum collapse process for dissolving the emotional charges. And gratitude to the divine, I became the first licensed Demartini method facilitator and Demartini values facilitator. And since then, I quit my job and I've been dedicating my life for this almost last 10 years.
Wow. So, Senthil, that was an amazing story and an amazing journey. And I could also resonate
You
with it because I went through something when I was 18 years old. I was working very hard. I was the topper in my school. But then I also experienced burnout. And then, as you said, I also moved on to spirituality, then tried many personal growth and development techniques, law of attraction, success GAN program, and those kind of things. But what I realized, something was missing even after doing these things. And then I
right.
came across to your work, and then I got to know about Dr. John D. Martini. And after that, life has never been the same. It has completely transformed for.
Beautiful.
And whatever you shared, Senthil, like I have many clients who are going through similar issues. Like they are also experiencing burnout in their workplace. So I'm sure that the audience will also resonate a lot with your story. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. So, Senthil, mostly my audience, they are into emotional and mental health well-being. Okay. So, for that, they try many techniques such as meditation, yoga, or many self-help techniques such as visualization, law of attraction, and affirmations. But sometimes it does not work. So, how is your approach different from these other methods of self-help and personal development? Can you share something about that?
Sure. In
Yeah.
fact, that's the crux. Getting this right is most important to getting the life right.
Mhm.
So, what happens is as we go through life,
Mhm.
right, we tend to look up at some people,
Hmm.
right? And it could be in any area. For example, you go through life and spiritually you look at someone and you think they are spiritually more aware, mentally more intelligent,
Hmm.
more knowledgeable, vocationally more achieving, financially more wealthy, familially more stable, socially more influential, physically more fit, yeah, spiritually more aware, right? What happens is we start subordinating to them
True.
and we start injecting their values into our life
Hmm.
and we try to live according to them instead of living our authentic life. So
Hmm.
we move away from our authenticity and we try to live somebody else's life instead
Hmm.
of living our life. Many of us would have heard this, if a frog tries to be a bird, it
Yeah.
will be a failure or
Hmm.
it will feel stressed, right? That's exactly what's happening. When we
Hmm.
look up at someone and we try to live according to their life, we self minimize. And when we self minimize, our self worth goes down. And when you are trying to live somebody else, you are going into your inauthenticity. Then you move away from your executive center in the prefrontal cortex to the amygdala, which is the emotion center, or the desire center, or the animal mind, or the lower mind, which is based on pain and pleasure, right? And then we get into judgments.
Hmm.
So, two judgments. One is you are putting them above, so infatuation, and you are putting yourself down, so self minimization.
Hmm.
This creates a void in us, emptiness, right? And this emptiness kind of, occupies space and time in our mind, does not allow us to live our life, and runs our life
Hmm.
crazy with intrusive thoughts, and we are unfulfilled. We don't have the drive, we feel depressed, and we don't sleep adequately. And we are into the downward spiral of life,
Hmm.
right?
True.
So the difference is
Hmm.
not to go by what someone is telling is what should be your life. Instead, going inward and finding out your authentic
Self.
Swadharma, right? And the process which I use is human values determination process to
Hmm.
help someone find what is their most meaningful thing.
Hmm.
Like cricket is for Sachin. What is it for you?
Hmm.
That's like in the most simplest of the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can find out what is for you, like cricket is for Sachin,
Hmm.
what is that in which your heart blossoms? What is that you are good at in which you can make a difference to others and have fulfillment? And when you dedicate yourself to fulfilling that for the rest of your life, you will have meaning, you will have intrinsic inspiration, meaning, fulfillment, wellness. Wellness because your executive center is online. It'll have self-governance. What is self-governance? The entire hormonal secretions in the body are moderated, and that creates a wonderful balance between sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, causing homeostasis in the
Hmm.
body, which is healing and wellness.
Hmm.
And because your executive center is online, you will be more objective. You will embrace both pain and pleasure in the pursuit of purpose, right?
True.
And objectivity, mindfulness, certainty, presence, patience, your ability to handle stress, the changing things as you go through life. And you are just able to focus on what you want to achieve in your life and keep moving on.
Wow. Great. Yeah.
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 And
So
when we try to live other people's life, we are in amygdala and then we are messed up.
messed up. Yeah. So yeah, Senthil, like I also have a lot of clients, especially in this day and age of internet and social media. Like you compare a lot with people, especially the younger generation. Like on Reels
Right.
and all, you see people having an amazing lifestyle, and then people aspire to be that. And because of that, many people get lost in it. Like they try to do what someone else is doing, and even after achieving that, they do not experience fulfillment, which they thought they would be
Yes.
experiencing. Yeah. And in my personal life, also, I've experienced this. Like for the first 18 years, I was doing what the society told me to do: study, come first. I did everything. Like I got the gold medals, I came first, but I was not fulfilled. But when I
Yes.
started this work of mindfulness coaching, being a psychiatrist, listening to patients and solving their problems, so I feel a sense of joy, a sense of fulfillment, and intrinsically I'm motivated to do it. So I think
Absolutely.
really resonate with what you are saying and how we should not follow or copy someone blindly. Rather take our values
Yes.
into consideration while choosing a career or profession or maybe doing anything in life. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I think you gave me a opening there. Intrinsic. That's
Mhm.
what matters.
Mhm.
So there's something called human values. Okay,
Mhm.
not moral values.
Okay.
Not that, the social idealisms kind of thing. Human values is human priorities.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. So what is the most important thing for you in your life? What is the most meaningful thing? Highest priority, highest value, right? Now, every human being, all actions they take, all decisions they make is all based on what is their values,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
And because their perceptions, decisions, and actions are based on their values, which dictate their destiny, their unique hierarchy of values dictates the destiny,
Hmm.
right? And therefore, it's so important for one to know what is their hierarchy of values and what is their highest values. For
Okay.
example, my highest value is helping people move from compulsive living to conscious living through concepts,
True.
personal mastery and life balance concepts.
Hmm.
My second highest value is learning and personal development. I've spent over 2.75 crores in my self investment for learning from the best in the world, like Dr. John Demartini. Almost 1.5 crores would have been for him, and the rest would have been for different people like Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Harvaker, my spiritual teacher, Mahatria, though it is not very expensive, and the likes, Tony Robbins and all those Shiv Khera, Dr. Bharat Chandra. So this entire thing, the investment which has happened and continuous learning and development is what has taken me into the journey of moving from compulsive living to conscious living. And I got it in my life. As a banker, it was a more of a compulsive living. Again, a high paying job, a fancy job, and all that, but there was no fulfillment. But right now, what I do is helping people using values to help them find their highest value and life purpose, and using the Demartini method to dissolve their emotional charges, be it infatuation, resentment, or pride or shame, or any kind of fear, anxiety, in even grief,
Okay.
dissolving the charges. And then once they are back into the state of gratitude and love, wonderfully they bounce back and take control of their life.
Wow. So yeah, Senthil, like this sounds to be a completely different approach to personal growth and development, which people talk about. Like they listen to
Yes,
motivational videos, attend some 2, 3 day workshops, they get excited, but after that the motivation drains off.
fills
But
up.
what you are
I've
telling,
been through
this
that.
values, it gives intrinsic motivation. Yeah. Okay. So Senthil,
In
you
fact,
are, yeah.
values help you to move from the world of external motivation based living to
Hmm.
intrinsic inspiration based living.
Okay. Yeah. That's a wonderful explanation actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Senthil, our audience would be curious to know, like you are talking about values. So, how can they get to know their own values in life? Like, is there a process for it?
Yes.
Yes.
That's so I would say Dr. John Demartini's two prime contributions to humanity.
Hmm.
First one is the values determination process.
Yeah.
It's a process, it's a 2 hour process, 2 to 3 hour process. And once when somebody goes through that,
Hmm.
you get to know their hierarchy of values, right? So it's called values determination process. I do it in my one-to-one consults. In my signature 1 day workshop, the first half is on that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of questions, and then I personally facilitate people. It's basically reverse engineering, looking at your life the way you are living.
Hmm.
And how do you fill your space? How do you spend your time? What energizes you? Where do you spend your money? Where are you most ordered and organized? Where are you the most disciplined, reliable, and focused? What do you think about, visualize about your internal dialogue, external dialogue? What inspires you, your goals, and what do you learn about? So broadly, like we take up these elements and see how you are actually demonstrating your life, and we reverse engineer to find out what is your priorities,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And sometimes people think they are something else.
Hmm.
But actually, when we do through this process, they actually pull out what is intrinsically most important for them.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I had a client. He's a doctor from Hyderabad,
Hmm.
right? Orthopedic surgeon, and he massively gained weight and lost weight and gained weight and lost weight within a very short period. And it's large sums of weight. It's not 4 5 kilos. It's like 25 30 kilos of weight gain and loss and gain and loss within 3 4 years period. And one of my client referred. She was also a doctor. She referred him to me, and I had a discovery call with him, and I understood that he's kind of uh, living something which is not his highest value, and he is living based on what his dad wanted him to.
Hmm.
Yeah. So he flew down to Chennai this was 2019, huh?
Hmm.
2019. He flew down to Chennai and we had this 1 day workshop. And then he realized that he did not want to be a doctor. In his hierarchy of values, it was way low. What is that he wanted to be? He was following art of living, and
Hmm.
he wanted to be a combination of personal development and spiritual development teacher.
Wow.
Yeah. And family was a high value. His daughters, wife and daughters, was newly married with a daughter. That was a high value. And spiritual development was a high value. Learning was a high value. But this whole thing, doctor thing was way low. Yeah. So then he realized that, okay, I'm doing something which I'm not inspired by, which my dad wanted to be, and therefore stress,
Hmm.
right? And then he made a plan to gradually move in the direction of personal development teaching. And and that's also a process by which you
Hmm.
can link your current job,
Hmm.
yeah, to your highest values, so that till such time you start your own journey, you can be inspired.
Yeah,
So
true.
we linked his doctor practice
Hmm.
to his highest value of teaching and spiritual development and personal development, learning, family, and his spiritual journey. And after doing the linking process, you know, I told him how to do that, and he did it over a period of time. He also picked up a bunch of personal empowerment coaching sessions and dissolve sessions, 12 dissolve sessions,
Hmm.
a lot of charges on his dad, and a few on his wife, and a few on other people. Yeah, we dissolved it.
Hmm.
Fourth session, end of fourth session, I'm getting a call from his wife.
Hmm.
She's also doctor, obstetrician gynecologist. She said, "What are you doing with my husband? He's becoming a good boy. He's not fighting with me like before." Yeah. So I said, "Ma'am, this is what I'm doing." He said, "So I also want to learn. I also want to know my values. I also want to participate in the dynamic." So she just delivered a baby, so she couldn't travel to Chennai. I did it online. And then she took up the same personal empowerment coaching and dissolve sessions. Her major charge was on husband, because husband was dumping all his resentment on dad on his wife. So wife had resentment on him. So we dissolved it. And 6 months they worked with me
Hmm.
almost every week. Some weeks 2 sessions, some week 1 session. Yeah, early morning I used to do, because being doctors you have
Yeah,
practice.
practice.
So I used to do, for husband I used to do early morning,
Hmm.
and for the wife I used to do late night.
Late nights.
Yeah. So beautifully they finished, came out and solved out all their conflicts, differences, living a wonderful life. After this whole thing is done, they
Hmm.
also took up the Inspired Life Master Planning. In fact, the husband took
Okay.
it. He made a plan of how he wanted to go about it. And after that, they are on their own. Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe once in 2 years, they'll say hi to me when they run into a big conflict. So then quickly we set up a 2 hour session, dissolve, and they are back on track.
Wow. Yeah. So, Senthil, that was a very inspiring story of how values can help a person. So maybe
Yes.
people can spend years of their life in the wrong profession just because of
Yeah.
what you told, injected values, maybe from parents, friends, society. They can live
Yes.
that life, and maybe someone, if they don't get these techniques, they can also live their entire life living that injected values. Like,
Victim, living as a victim, blaming the
yeah,
world,
hmm.
blaming others, not taking responsibility,
Wow.
right? Uh, so after this, in their family,
Mhm.
one of their cousin attempted for a suicide.
Okay.
She had a very high degree conflict with her husband, and being doctors, they did not ask her to, you know,
What was it?
uh, go into the psychology,
Hmm.
psychotherapy, and all that. So they said, okay, work with Senthil. He'll help you to find out the root cause and address the root cause, so that you can reclaim your life, whether you are going back to your husband or living alone.
Okay.
Yeah. So worked with her, and couple of dissolves on her first day. She found her values, right? And she had values around family. She did not want to go and work and all.
Hmm.
Her highest value was like family, taking care of child, house, husband, and a little bit of relations and all that. Yeah, she didn't want to go and work and all. Fitness was a high value for her. She was happy to know more about her, and massive resentments on husband and mother-in-law,
Okay.
and one or two on her mother, and self-charge. So around 6 to 8 sessions we did, and 3 months later, the in-laws connected,
Mhm.
and after 6 months she was back. Now she has become a fitness freak, regularly hitting the gym, lifting weights up to 100 kilos, beautifully transformed.
Wow.
So what happened after this is, earlier she was subordinating to the mother-in-law
Hmm.
and trying to live a life which is not her authentic self,
True.
being too much into conservative saris and all that.
Hmm.
Now she's giving herself permission. I'm going to be me. So hitting the gym, workout, yeah, massive weights and all, dressing up the way she wants, yeah, beautifully in bit of a modern dressing, tracks, t-shirts, instead
Okay.
of only on saris all the time,
Hmm.
gone. Of course, you can't be fully on a sari clad while doing your weightlifting workout.
True.
Yeah. So beautifully, she has transformed her life.
Hmm.
Amazing thing. And yeah, now there was another client I was working with. He was general manager in Ashok Leyland.
Hmm.
And when I was working, he was in fact my first client. And when I was working with him, he dissolved a resentment he had on his brother, with
Hmm.
whom he did not speak for 4 5 years. Massive resentments. After dissolving the charge, he couldn't resist, but he called him up right at the end of the session in my office. Yeah, his brother was out of not at house. His wife picked up, and that evening while driving back home, he gave me a message. Senthil, miracle happened. My brother spoke to me in a tone which he has never spoken before. A
Hmm.
kind of a respectful, kind tone, and he was so happy. And that's called quantum entanglement. Huh?
Yeah.
When you dissolve your resentment on a person, and when you move from hatred to gratitude, your perception about a person from hatred to gratitude, the actual person shifts.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Senthil, these were very inspiring and transformative stories which you shared of the values determination process and also the quantum collapse process or the dissolve session. And for my audience, I have
yeah,
also done the values determination and I have found my top three values. And like it was an eye opener for me. And surprisingly, psychiatry came in my top three values. So I didn't have to change my profession, but my first value came to be online mindfulness coaching. So then I started linking my psychiatry with online mindfulness coaching. So if there are some patients who want to go deep, who want to learn some psychology or mindfulness techniques, so then I take them to my online mindfulness coaching. So it has
beautiful.
also helped me really in living a fulfilled life and also having a meaningful career. So now when I do these coaching sessions combined with my psychiatry practice, it gives me more meaning, more
It's a,
fulfillment,
it's a,
and
yeah, it's a
people also
natural
experience a different level
complement to
of
each other.
transformation. Yeah. They experience a
Absolutely.
different level of transformation. Yes.
Both are psychology, mindfulness coaching and psychiatry,
Yeah.
and when you can mix it.
Yeah.
So that is more of the Cohen school of treating it from inside,
Right.
and psychiatry is the Knightian school of treating with medicines.
Medicine. So
So
when
you
both
can blend
combine,
it
then
together.
amazing
Yeah,
transformation happens. Yeah.
absolutely. Another example, how combining both works.
Mhm.
I had one of my client's sister
Mhm.
was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer.
Okay.
Okay, and she was just in the middle age, around 40s. Came as a shock for the entire family, and they started doing. They had a bit of a surgical process, and she was undergoing chemotherapy and radiation therapy. But the whole family was in panic. They didn't know how to handle it. But the elder sister, because she has worked with me and understands this, she said, "Senthil, can you help? Will it be of help?" I said, "Absolutely." Because there are some cancer is the last mile effort by the divine to help you to love something which you have not learned to love,
Hmm.
which means you are having resentments on someone. And if the resentment carries on for a very long period of time, like 10 years, 15 years, then this chronic resentment, creates chronic diseases, including cancer,
Hmm. Thanks.
right? So cancer is a more black or very clear polarized thinking, black or white.
Mhm.
For example, some women who had bad experiences with men, all men are devils.
Hmm.
They don't have the guts to get their daughter married to a man because they feel men are devils.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Similarly, men who have negative experiences with women who are coming in, affair, cheating, dumping, and all that, they have, yeah. So these charges over a period of time, when it stays for a very long period, it can kind of, uh, regress your body to a very primitive stage in your physiology, and that's how cancer happened. So worked with her, 1 day workshop, and then in her sister's house in Bombay, and then we did a bunch of sessions. So she had some charges which she has been carrying for a very long period, right from the time she got married, and you know uh, in the circles, in-laws and all that, spouse, in-law, self-charge. So after dissolving these charges and finding her values and getting more towards, she's a chartered accountant
Mhm.
and also wants to kind of help people in the personal development journey and healthy diet and all that. She started picking it up, and within 1 year, exactly in a year from when we started, beautifully along with the other treatments. So that's
Mhm.
why I said it's a beautiful blend,
Yeah.
with the chemotherapies and radiation therapies and dissolving the emotional charges which he has been carrying for 10, 15, 20 years. 1 year she came completely out of cancer, zero cancer cells in her body.
Wow.
And it's been 3, 4 years since I worked with her. She's
Hmm.
fine now. She's helping people who are, uh, you know, identified with cancer. She's
Yeah.
kind of, counseling them how you can bounce back.
Yeah, so that was again an inspiring story. And as I told, I have also experienced this. When I combine both external and internal, amazing transformation happens. Like this happened
Yes,
with one of my clients also. So the medications, they help in controlling the symptoms, and these other techniques help us to go deeper, find our purpose, our mission,
addressing the
vision.
root cause.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So when I tried that, as you said, there are amazing results here. So once again,
yeah.
Senthil, that was an inspiring story, really. Yeah,
Thank
great.
you. So it
So,
helps in, so
hmm,
this values and dissolve,
hmm,
it helps in healing
hmm,
the different illnesses. It helps in getting clarity in life.
yeah,
What's the most meaningful thing, life purpose kind of a thing, some direction in life, right? And dissolving the emotional baggage, which kind of sometimes, which makes people,
hmm,
uh, they almost become like a zombie, I mean, they are
yeah,
lost interest in life.
hmm,
The intrusive thoughts does not allow them to do what they are already good at.
hmm,
See, when you are hating someone, constantly that thought is on the mind.
yeah,
Okay, out there in the market, you have something like, uh, what is that? Scream therapy.
yeah. Scream when you shout, you
Yeah, so
ventilate
you
out.
go and you think of the person you hate, and then you scream and yell and shout, and you're just venting out the frustration. But the charge is, the root cause is not dissolved.
Yeah.
And in fact, when you are doing that, you are further polarizing because you are thinking they are bad, you are good, and then you are giving all
Hmm,
filthy words, galis to them
hmm,
in the name of releasing the trash.
true.
But it's actually further polarizing you. So forgiveness therapy is not dissolving,
Not dissolve.
because when you say I forgive you, you are saying I'm good,
You are.
you're bad, I'm forgiving you.
Hmm.
So the charge is not getting dissolved. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just getting pushed to the back burner.
Hmm.
Ho'oponopono therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I love you.
I have
That
tried
also
that.
is, yes, that also is not dissolving the charge, pushing it to the back burner. Yeah, releasing the trash, letting go.
Hmm.
All these are only, it can give a temporary relief because you're pushing it. But if any incident comes, the whole charge will come with full power.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but when you do a dissolve, you are actually going to the root cause, and you are shifting the perception from thinking that this person is a villain
Hmm.
to seeing how it has benefited you. Where
Hmm.
have you done it in your life? So they are as good as me, as bad as me, right? And how it has benefited you, therefore, it is not a negative thing. It's neither good nor bad. Where they also have displayed the opposite hero side of the trait. So
Hmm.
this person has both sides. And if how that challenging thing has served them. In fact, support helps us to be genuinely dependent,
True.
like a baby dependent
True.
on someone.
Hmm.
Only challenge helps us to become independent, a little bit, in fact, precociously independent. Even if we know or not, we will try to do it on our own, not take their help and advice. So a challenge helps us to grow as an adult.
Hmm.
Yeah. So once we see this whole dynamic, you see that how this person whom I thought was a devil has actually come into my life to help me to grow.
Yeah.
And
True.
then you are grateful for them for the challenge which helped you to grow.
Yeah. Because Senthil, what happens when someone appreciates you, you like it, you like that person. But when someone challenges you, you hate and resent that person. Like this is a very bad person.
That's when you want to do something on your own. So you find ways
Yeah.
to grow.
Yeah. So I have also experienced that. So, Senthil, you are talking about this dissolve and Demartini method. So, what is it actually for our audience? Because you are giving many fascinating and interesting examples, but what is this actual process of the Demartini method and how it helps to dissolve the charges? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
So, like I was just sharing with another client of mine.
Mhm.
So, let's say you have some goal in life and you want to go towards that goal.
Okay.
And then you have some people who you feel are uh, some way blocking you. Yeah. Let's say a simple example. Let's say your father is very strict with you
Mhm.
and verbally criticizing you, insulting you, and all that. And somewhere the resentment on him is not letting you to do something which you want to do.
True.
So these kind of emotional charges, no, they are almost like a block. You
Mhm.
want to go further, but this is like a block. It's blocking you,
Mhm.
right? So what Demartini method does is it helps you to see the full picture.
Okay.
So the half picture of a block is resolved. When you see the full picture, you see how it is serving you, and then you are able to move forward towards your goals.
Okay.
So if I have to put it in a very simple word, what we see as a resentment is only one half. We
Okay.
are not seeing the other half.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's say this is equilibrium. When we puff ourselves above equilibrium, we go to pride.
Hmm.
When we are in pride, we are seeing only our positive, we are not seeing the negative.
True.
So therefore, we feel elated.
Hmm.
Yeah, from our worth, we feel we are elated. It's a false positive,
False positive.
right? And when we are depressed with shame and guilt, we feel we are below our self-worth, which is a false negative, self-minimization. This
True.
is self-exaggeration,
Hmm.
self-minimization. Both are lopsided perceptions, seeing half. When
Hmm.
you see both sides, you are at self-worth.
Okay.
Similarly, when you are looking at others, if you see more of their positive, you are infatuated.
Hmm.
But they also have downsides.
Hmm.
And when you are seeing more of downsides, you have resentment, but they also have
They also have
positives.
positives.
So, infatuation means you are conscious of their positive, unconscious of their negatives.
Positives.
And
Yes.
the Demartini method or quantum collapse process helps you to bring the unconscious to conscious so that you bring them from infatuation to your heart level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And similarly, when you are resenting someone, you are conscious of their negatives,
hmm.
unconscious of their positives. And through the process, we bring the unconscious positives
Hmm.
so that the resentment lives and they are on par with you.
Hmm.
Similarly, when you have pride, you are conscious of your positive, unconscious of your negative. So when we bring the unconscious negative to conscious, then the pride
Right.
falls.
All stuff.
And when you have shame and guilt, you are conscious of your negative, unconscious of your positive. When you bring your unconscious positive, you are lifted up to your full self-worth.
Oh. So, Senthil, this means that every person is equal, like both have positive and negative
Absolutely.
qualities, and every person has God and devil in them. But if we are infatuated with someone, we see the God in them, and if we resent someone, we see the devil in
You're
them.
blind of the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're infatuated, you are seeing the God, you're blind of devil in them.
Hmm.
And when you see someone as devil, you are conscious, seeing the devil, you are blind of the God in them.
Yeah.
And so we start with the quantum curve, positive, and then
Hmm.
we collapse it to 1:1 ratio of perception, one positive, one negative. Or
And
start with the negative and come to 1:1 ratio of perception. What is 1:1 ratio of perception? Seeing
hmm.
both positive and negative 50-50 equal. And
Okay.
when you go on the positive side, 7:1 means 7 times positive, 1 time negative, infatuation or
Hmm.
pride. And on the downside, 1:7 means 1 time positive, 7 times negative, resentment
Hmm.
or
Resentment,
shame
resentment.
and guilt. And
Okay.
when we dissolve, we bring it to 1:1 ratio of perception.
Hmm. And Senthil, what I'm noticing this when I'm seeing the global scenario, like most of the human civilization is polarized to one side. Like there is one group
Yes.
who are mostly into negativity, news, reality shows, wars, those kind of things, constant fighting
Temptation.
and blaming. Yeah. And there is one side who is too much into positivity, motivation thinking, positive thinking, law of attraction. So there are these two polarized sides, but very few people are able to see both the positive and negative and the
Yes.
balance which every moment and every person has to offer. So that is a completely
Yes.
new way of thinking, which is not that much accepted in
Absolutely.
the conventional society. Yeah. Hmm.
Positive thinking
Hmm.
beyond a point. it becomes so, it starts bringing nightmares into our life
Okay. Hmm.
because we are like a biomagnet.
Hmm.
If you take a magnet, it has a north pole and south pole, right? We are like a biomagnet with a positive side and a negative side. You will never get a positive without a negative. You'll never get a magnet with one pole,
True.
right?
True.
Similarly, you will never get a person with only one side. Yeah. In fact, Demartini says there are 4,628 human behavioral traits,
Hmm.
half positive, half negative, and we all have it.
Okay.
Only the expression will be based on our hierarchy of values. The
Hmm.
way I will express anger may be different from the way you express
Yes,
anger,
thank you.
may be different from the way your client may express anger. But we
Hmm.
all have anger as a trait,
Okay.
right? Somebody may shout and yell, somebody may break things, somebody may beat up the other person, somebody may shut down.
Hmm. And that
So
shutdown
people who
person may
shut down
think
think
he is
they,
not angry. I am very calm, but he is actually angry. Yeah.
huh,
Mhm.
yeah. So people who shut down, they think they never get angry. No, their expression of anger in a different way.
Different. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So, Senthil, this is truly fascinating. Like, very few people talk
yeah,
about it. This balance and
absolutely.
positive, negative thinking. Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. And another thing is in the international scenarios also,
Mm-hmm.
when you think a particular thing is bad, it's only seeing half the story.
Okay.
When you go deep, you will be able to see the full picture. When you see the full picture, you realize it's neither good nor bad.
It's neutral.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, for example, Russia-Ukraine war started.
Mm-hmm.
People thought Third World War is starting, as if war was not happening at all. But at every part, war was happening in its own way. We
Yes.
had wars happening in the form of Naxalites.
Hmm.
We had terrorists from Pakistan coming and hitting us so many
Hmm.
times. In Bombay, it happened. I was there in
Right.
Bombay when those bunch of guys came and shooting in Taj
Okay.
Hotel and other places.
Hmm.
100 people were killed, no?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
bunch of guys who came.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's war,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
China, Taiwan is war. Hong Kong war.
Yes.
North Korea, South Korea war. Even China, India also war. We had a bunch of people dying, no?
Yes. True.
Small group of people dying. So it's been happening. In Africa, you have wars happening,
Hmm.
right? And you have it in South America also you have.
Acha, acha. Okay. So,
So it has been there, but we did not see. But then we started thinking that, suddenly it has become war. No, but war and peace always coexist. And the benefits of the
hmm.
Russia-Ukraine war is it was a monopolar world controlled by US.
Hmm.
Gradually, Russia, the way it was kind of, holding on to the sanctions, and it was able to continue the war, and it was able to fund itself by alternate means. US thought by putting sanctions, Russia will collapse.
Hmm.
No, it's been 3 years, 4 years, still they are on.
Okay.
And there was an arrest warrant on Putin, but now Putin is traveling to different countries. He came to India also.
Yeah, true.
And subsequently came the Netanyahu Iran war,
Hmm.
which has beautifully showed up how US, the vested interest of US, and then how they want to support Israel uh, for all the vested, the way Israel is kind of funding them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
another one,
hmm.
people also now you can see a clear shift of power. Earlier it
Hmm.
was monopolar, only US. Now China, Russia are emerging as equally strong powers, and
True.
India also, which is the third
Hmm.
biggest economy now. Yeah. European Union, which hardly respected India before
Hmm.
this whole wars
True.
turned up, they were in India for striking the deal which they call mother of all deals, $500 billion trade
Yeah.
deal or something, I guess.
True, true, true.
Right?
Hmm. So,
So the US, which was like the dictator, they
hmm.
can jump into any country and take the president.
Hmm.
If others do, it will be terrorist. But if they do, nobody can question.
Nobody can do anything.
Now there are people who are questioning them.
Yes. So,
Russia is questioning, China is questioning.
so if the war wouldn't have happened, this would have not come up. So people are
Could
seeing
not
only
come
like the
up.
negative side, they are not seeing
Yeah,
the positives. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, many changes are happening and mostly people are polarized. Like mostly they are saying
And
the negative,
reality
but
check. People
yeah,
thought US is the biggest defense power, means nobody can dare to kind of,
yeah,
uh, confront them. But the way Iran is confronting, the biggest vessel went back 800 kilometers because they were scared of Iran bombing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So the weakness of US also came to the forefront.
hmm,
They were putting a mask as if they are a superpower to a different degree. But
okay.
people got to know that if they can't handle Iran,
Hmm,
now South Korea is thinking, I should not depend on US to protect me from North Korea, because if they can't handle Iran, which is not a nuclear power, how will US handle North Korea, which is a nuclear power?
okay. That's true. So, Senthil,
Yeah.
this plays out on a global level also, not just on an
Yeah,
individual or a
yeah.
family level. It plays out at the world level or the universal level also.
Individual level, family
Hmm.
level, social level, town level, city level, state level, country level, continent,
Like
global, and
everywhere.
even beyond. Yeah.
Okay. So it operates everywhere. Yes. Yeah, and Senthil, like when I was involved in this personal growth and development stuff, many people were talking about this new age or golden age which is coming, where everything will be peaceful, everyone will be happy. But after talking with you, I realized that is a fantasy.
Absolutely.
Like at every moment in history or every moment in time in the future, there will be war and peace. There will be balance. Like
Absolutely.
there will be no
Absolutely.
time where there is complete peace. There will be a
Yeah.
balance always. Okay. So that is a very fascinating thing, and many people will drop their idealisms because of this. That I will create a
Yeah.
peaceful world, a peaceful and happy society. But that is just seeing one side, according to your
In
thought.
fact, the more one person is running after peace, no,
Hmm.
war will chase and hit them harder to break their addiction to peace.
Okay, that is a completely new perspective, actually.
Yeah. There was a person in US, he
Hmm.
attended a breakthrough experience of Demartini,
Hmm.
Indian family in US. Now the parents were saying that my child, son, he was in his teens, 12, 13 years or something. He's getting nightmarish dreams in the night and he's not able to sleep and he's so scared and all that.
Okay.
So while having a conversation with them, one thing which DeMartini pulled out was, appears to be he is being given an overdose of positivity.
Hmm.
So he asked, are you giving him too much of positive dose? Yeah. I don't know if he had any learning disabilities and all. So they said yes, he feels weak, so we gave him a lot of affirmations that he is strong and he is capable and he can handle things and he is excellent and all this kind of stuff. Then he said, "Stop it right now.
Okay.
All the positivity you're pushing inside a system,
Hmm.
the system which is neutral is pushing it back through nightmarish dreams."
Okay. Hmm.
And they stopped giving positive dose, his nightmarish dreams stopped.
Wow, amazing.
In my own clients, I had a bunch of people who had a lot of kind of, brain fog
Hmm.
and feeling low energy and depressed and not motivated and all. And somehow I figured out that I was questioning them, do they use affirmations? And they were using a huge list of affirmations, all polarized.
Oh.
I'm always the best. Yeah, I'm a millionaire.
I
And
mean,
they are not even earning 10,000, 20,000. I think they must have been earning 30, 40,000.
that's a fantasy.
But they are like, I'm a millionaire. Yeah, I'm always excellent. Yeah, I'm always on top of the world. All lopsided.
Yes.
I said, stop it.
Hmm.
And with next week, when I was meeting them, they said they are feeling far better, high on energy, peaceful, no brain fog. They were able to focus on their work. And they started spreading it with their friends. And there was another girl who used to wear all this stone wala.
Huh.
And in
Gemstone.
next class, she said, look, Senthil, I'm not wearing it. No more positive addiction.
True.
And addiction to a polarity of any polarity, the other side will manifest to break your addiction.
Okay.
If anyone is addicted to peace,
Hmm.
war will come into their life to break their addiction to peace.
Okay.
Okay, if anyone is addicted to kindness, they will be forced to be rude and cruel to break their addiction to kindness.
Okay, I can personally relate to it because
Yeah,
I have been seen as a very kind and polite person, but sometimes like I lose my cool. And yeah,
yeah.
mm, true. That's
So the intuition is a homeostatic mechanism
hmm.
inside us. So it brings four kind of feedbacks. Huh?
Okay.
Two are autotelic internal feedbacks,
Hmm.
psychological and physiological.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you are inauthentic, which means you are not living your authentic life, or when you are polarized, you are
Hmm.
trying to be one-sided. Infatuation, resent,
Yes.
pride, shame, fear, anxiety. You will have these feedbacks to let you know you are not authentic.
Okay.
When you exaggerate yourself,
Hmm.
you attract humbling circumstances as feedback to come down to your actual self-worth.
Okay.
Right. So the humbling circumstances could be you fall ill,
Hmm.
physiological, irritability, psychological, sociological rejections, and people dumping you friend as a friend or work colleagues and all that. Right. And theological is the last stage, which could be a hard whack like accidents and terminal illnesses and all that.
Okay.
Cancer is kind of a
Last stage.
uh, high end of physiological and theological.
Okay. So the universe will
Heart
always
attacks,
try to keep us in balance. Yeah.
yes.
And if we don't
And
do
the
it,
early
it will
stage,
bring circumstances to keep us in balance.
yes.
Okay.
So psychological is like mild one, wake up. Otherwise, physiological illnesses, wake up. Otherwise, sociological rejections and breakups and all that. And if you don't wake up for all this, then you have final theological, which could be a hard whack. It could be even
Hmm.
a heart attack. And people wake up after that.
Okay.
And they wake up during the post bypass surgery recovery period in the hospital. They have all the transformations where
Hmm.
they have been too polarized, too strict, too arrogant, dictatorial types. And after that, they start becoming calmer, strike a balance.
True. So, Senthil, this can also be one of the reasons. Like, I have seen many successful people, like who have a lot of fame, they have a big downfall. They land up into depression and those kind of things because, like, there might be too much
Humbling,
attachment to that pride because of their place in the world, their fame.
humbling
Yeah.
circumstance.
So, lot of humbling circumstances happen. And also on social media, I can see people who have a huge number of followers and likes. Suddenly, an event happens and they get trolled so badly that they come down very
Calm
fast.
down. Yes, yes, yes.
This is just a balance.
Netanyahu had a lot of pride, and he
Hmm.
thought that US is behind him, he can do any damn thing. And now he's finding difficult. Iran is bombing like crazily inside Iran, and that the Iron Dome and all is not doing any damn thing for them.
Okay.
So now he's kind of, calming down.
Yes.
I need to be
Yes.
careful, otherwise Iran may completely kind of,
True.
wipe me out of world.
Well, so Senthil, one more thing, like, is it possible to always stay in balance, like every moment of the day, or
No,
no? Okay.
not possible.
Not possible.
Yeah. So because we live in a sensory world and our senses can only measure one side, positive or negative, right?
Okay.
So we are bound to have judgments.
Mm-hmm.
But more we are aware of this, and our intuition will kind of create a balance when the ratios of perception is in a very small range 5 is to 1, 1 is to 5, 7 is to 1, 1 is to 7. We get upset in the morning with our dad, mom, wife, husband. By evening, we are fine. Intuition gets us to balance. When the charge is too deep, too high, or
Mm-hmm.
too low, pride is too high, or shame is too much, or infatuation too high, resentment is too high, then intuition cannot
Work.
equilibrate. Then we need external intervention like this dissolve
Mm-hmm.
process to bring it to balance, to bring the unconscious to conscious, and then we come to a balance.
Yeah. So it's a constant work. Like you have to work
It's a
regularly
it's a
to be in
constant
balance.
work. So you have a judgment, you dissolve it, you go to the next level with the expanded awareness. There you will have a new judgment.
Okay.
Dissolve it, go to the next level, new judgment, dissolve it,
This
and
is a
it's
lifelong
infinite. Huh?
process. Yeah. It's a
It's a
lifelong.
lifelong process. The more you do dissolve, it will be quicker for you to dissolve charges.
Okay. Hmm.
So I would have done some 200, 300 dissolves on me.
Hmm.
So if I get into a fight with my wife and then if I'm really charged up, my 15-minute drive from my home to office,
Hmm.
in my mind, I do the dissolve so that once I reach office, I'm in gratitude and love with my wife,
Yes.
so that I can be peaceful, calm, and I'll be connected to my soul, which is source of state of unconditional love, and I'll be able to do my work better.
Hmm.
Otherwise, if you are polarized, no, you are so tensed, your muscle is tensed, and
So every time it might not end up in a resolution, but whatever the decision is,
yes,
it is from an objective point of view, not impulsively. Yeah.
yes,
Hmm. Okay.
because in the sway of emotions,
Hmm.
amygdala is online, intelligence is absent.
Absent. Wow.
Yeah, intelligence goes on a chutti when your amygdala is raining high.
Hmm.
So therefore, in the sphere of emotions, intelligence does not work. So never decide or act when you are emoted.
Okay. Great. So yes, Senthil.
Yeah.
This has been a wonderful conversation, like a lot of examples, lot of client stories, lot of learnings, and it was absolutely fascinating. For me also, I also learned a lot of new things, though I have been with you for past 6 to 7 months, but I also got to get a new perspective on what the Demartini method is and what are its implications actually. So according to you, like it can benefit all areas of life, like health,
Absolutely.
relationship, career, money, you can use it anywhere. Yeah.
I yeah, I worked with clients who had charges on business partners,
Mhm.
uh, physical fitness issues,
Mhm.
social rejections,
Okay.
financial difficulties, spiritual disconnect, all areas, family conflicts,
Hmm.
parenting.
Hmm. Wow. So this seems to be a amazing process, and I'm sure that our audience would also love to try it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, Senthil, if the audience wants to go deep into your work, like how should they reach you? Like, yeah. So how can they
perfect.
reach you? Yeah.
Yeah, so they can reach me through my website, which
Mm-hmm.
is infinitepotentials.in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can share it. You can share it with
I'll
your
put the link in the YouTube description. Yeah. Oh.
yeah, https colon backslash
Yeah.
backslash infinitepotentials.in.
Mm-hmm.
And in that last page, there is a way to contact. They can
Mm-hmm.
type the message, they can reach out to me. It comes to my email ID, or email ID is hello@infinitepotentials.in. They can send an
Wow.
email,
Great. Great.
right? And how can I help them? I can, if someone has intense issues like the doctor I said,
Mm-hmm.
massive weight gain and loss. So those kind of intense thing, working one to one would be best. In a
Okay.
group, it may not work because they can't
Mm-hmm.
open up in a group.
Mm-hmm.
So any intense issues, one to one resolves I can do. It's morning 9:30 to evening 6:30. I'll be giving them a 120-page printed personal mastery life balance workbook with many things which I shared will be there. Exercises, there'll be a values determination process. I'll guide them personally to find their hierarchy of values. Then on applications of values, linking if they are not inspired in the job, how to link it to highest values. Then
Mm-hmm.
how linking in relationships can resolve conflicts in business situation and support challenge dynamics. And then I go into quantum collapse process debrief and we'll do one dissolve on that day.
Okay.
So once the one day is done, the client can I can do a dissolve with them in 2 hours, any charge. So
Okay.
based on the number of charges, they can take a 6 session package or 12 session or 18 session package. We can work. Then I'll also add some personal empowerment coaching session like mind mastery, like we did,
Yeah.
understanding that you are not your mind, you have your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
True. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So those kind of things. And the last one is Inspired Life Master Planning, which also you have done.
Yeah.
25-week course where
Hmm.
we go deep to find the life purpose and dissolve charges, emotional charges in all 7 areas, and planning 12 areas.
Yeah.
So I do this mostly one to one,
Hmm.
and sometimes it could be a small group. Even if I do it in a group, it will be like if it is one day, 10 people. If it is 20 people, I do it in 2 days. Like we did, it was 20 people, we did it in 2 days
Yeah. Yeah. True. True. Hmm.
in Pune, right?
Hmm.
So that way I do. And ILMP, it was two of y'all.
Hmm.
So that's how we can work. It's an amazing thing.
Hmm.
If anyone is feeling highly stressed, that they are living a compulsive living, not inspired, they are bored or burnt out, and feeling a lot of imbalances and pushed around, unfulfillment and
Hmm.
emptiness. I would say it could be a lack of clarity on their purpose. And therefore, see, the longer you live in your lowest values on a daily basis, you are accumulating fresh emotional charges. So therefore, it's important to find your highest values and go in the journey ASAP.
Hmm.
You will reduce fresh charges.
Yes.
So at least a 1 day workshop, if people are having these issues, the 1 day workshop will be useful. And based on their intensity of emotional charges and whether they want to find out their purpose and all other things can be,
Thank you.
they can take it forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Senthil, for sharing this with us. I'll post all the links in the description below. So once
Yes.
again, Senthil, this was an amazing conversation which we had. So one last message that you have for my audience, like what message would you like to give them?
Okay. So I'll give them like a short pill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever they feel they are disturbed or agitated,
Mm-hmm.
the quick shortcut to resolve it is
Mm-hmm.
it based on this premise. Disturbance and gratitude cannot coexist.
Okay.
Disturbance or agitation,
Hmm.
agitated mind, and gratitude, which is peace, calm, tranquility, they cannot coexist.
Okay.
At the same moment, it cannot coexist. You will either be disturbed or agitated. At that moment, you will not have gratitude. Or if you are in a state of gratitude, calm, and bliss, at that time, you will not have agitation.
True. Hmm.
So, at the moment when you are agitated,
Hmm.
if you can train your intelligence to just think of 5 or 10 blessings in your life, which you are grateful for.
Hmm.
For everything you are grateful for, you bring it to your conscious awareness, the disturbance starts going down.
Wow. Great. So gratitude is the magic pill, according to you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And Senthil, I remember one research also, like what they found out was that there was a lady who was constantly thanking people in her life and was gratitude, expressing gratitude towards them. So what they found out was that her brain waves were equal to that of a yogi who had been meditating for 10 years. So like that is the power of
There you
gratitude.
go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It puts you in a state of a balance, a calm. You are in this, you are connected to the soul,
Hmm.
state of unconditional love, which
Yes.
is a balance, homeostatic state. You are filled with grace, you have mindfulness, you are present, you have certainty, you are authentic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And another great thing of living in highest values is integrity is it's a natural byproduct. You
Okay.
don't have to think to balance what you are thinking, what you are doing, and what you are speaking.
Okay. It comes naturally. Yeah.
Integrity is what you think, what you speak, and what you do should be same, correct?
True.
Walking your talk. But if someone is struggling to walk their talk, or constantly they have to watch what they are saying, what they are speaking, what they are thinking, speaking, and doing, it's always not connected, means they are not aligned. In your highest values, you walk your talk, and there is a natural, integrity. The
Hmm.
social value of integrity happens naturally as a byproduct when you're in your highest values.
Yes. So, thank you, Senthil, so much for this
Thank you
wonderful
so
message
much,
that you
Neil.
had for our audience. So, yes, Senthil, once again, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time and doing this podcast interview for me and for my audience. And I'm sure that we will have another interview where we will discuss some another
Yeah,
topic because this was very fascinating and I want to go deeper. And I feel my audience will also want to go deeper. So we will schedule another interview
absolutely.
and go deeper into some other topic. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much, Neil, for this opportunity. It's a pleasure to share this, and I would love for this to spread to more people
Hmm.
because the more awareness spreads, people will move away from fantasies.
Hmm.
They'll stop running after shining objects
Hmm.
and get into authenticity, you
Hmm.
know, and
Okay.
not living for the sake of impressing the world,
Hmm.
but live for you.
Okay, great. Yes,
Yeah.
Senthil. So
So
thank
thank
you
you
so
so much. It
much.
was a pleasure, and my best wishes to you and your audience.
Yes.
And we'll
Yes.
catch up again soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chalo, bye bye.
Bye
All
bye.
the best to all of you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Mindful Living with Neil. I'm sure that you enjoyed this episode and got a lot of valuable insights, and you will start practicing it in your day-to-day life. So I will come back with the next episode of Mindful Living with Neil, sharing with you similar unique techniques and processes which can help you to live a mentally healthy, emotionally balanced, and fulfilling life. Thank you so much.